Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Profit Plays YouTube channel. Today is Saturday, June 22nd. You've made it another weekend. Go out, enjoy yourself for the next couple days. If you're going to be watching some baseball, we're going to be breaking down 6 more plays today, and I'll be looking at the Minnesota Twins going up against the Athletics and the Baltimore Orioles going up against the Houston Astros with a couple studs on the mound in that game. I'll have another 3 player props and 2 best bets on the player props towards the end of the video. But if you guys would please, before you get into it, make sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel below, share it with a friend. Every like and every sub goes a long, long way, and I appreciate every single one of you guys tuning in. All right, let's break down some ball. All right, guys, let's get into this leaderboard. This is Friday night's games. I did go 5-1 on Thursday. Looking for a 6-0 day here on Friday. We are recording very early because we have some of the late games. I'm recording about 4 o'clock in the afternoon right now. But these are the games we have. We have the Red Sox versus the Reds. Under 4.5 runs in the first 5. Some people might have got that at 5. I took under 4.5 at plus 120. I'm feeling pretty good about it. We have Adley Rutschman over 1.5 bases going up against the Astros. Again, Justin Verlander, he's not going to be playing in this game. It's going to be some guy named Bloss. He's getting his first major league start, so interested to see how that's going to go out. I've already bet Adley Rutschman, so I'm going to stick with him. And then Jack Flaherty under 1.5 earned runs going up against the White Sox. I said 2.5 in the video yesterday, but it came out at under 1.5, so we are going to take the under 1.5. On the graphic plays, we have the Mariners, -0.5. George Kirby on the bump going up against Trevor Rogers. Feel pretty good about that one. J.P. Crawford in the same game, over 1.5 bases. He is hitting over 300 against lefties this season, so I really like him. And then Jaron Dern over 1.5 bases going up against the Cincinnati Reds and Andrew Abbott. So very excited about the games tonight. We are going to take a quick look at the leaderboard. 19-6 over the last 7. Extremely good. So I'm excited for Saturday slate of games. Hopefully we can stay on this heater that we are on. And we are going to start with the Oakland Athletics going up against the Minnesota Twins. And this is actually going to be a pitching matchup that we saw 5 days ago between the same teams. Both of these guys went against each other on June 16th. We're going to have Bailey Ober on the mound for the Twins and J.P. Sears back on the mound for the Athletics. I'm going to be playing the Minnesota Twins here on the first 5 -0.5 as the play, and I really like J.P. Sears. I've been battling a love-hate relationship with him the entire season because he has shown the capability to go out there and give us 6 innings or 7 innings of work, giving up no runs. But he's also shown that he may be the most inconsistent pitcher in baseball. So far this season, he's coming in with a 4.25 ERA, and over the last 4 games, it's been just consistently bad. More times than not, whenever J.P. Sears comes off a bad start, he will bounce back, giving up 1 run or less, and we've seen that throughout the entire month of May. But once he got into June, for some reason, all the bounce-back games just went away. He's now given up 3+ runs in 3 of the last 4 games, and he's also given up a lot of hits over the last couple games, which we typically didn't see in the month of May. Over just the last 2 games against the Padres and the Twins, he's given up 7 runs and 16 hits. In his last game against the Twins, he gave up 9 hits, 3 home runs while walking 3 people. And that's also something we didn't see a lot of from J.P. Sears in May, him walking people. He is struggling coming into this game, so I have no choice but to back the Minnesota Twins in this one. The Twins will have Bailey Ober on the mound, who is coming in with a 4.81 ERA, and he has struggled at times this season as well. He, though, is coming off a really good start going up against the Athletics, where he only gave up 1 run on a solo shot, and he was able to go 6+ innings in that game. Whenever Bailey Ober goes up against teams who are bottom 10 in hitting this season, the numbers are really good. He's coming off a game against the Athletics. He was very good in that game, and then he had a game against the Blue Jays. Not that long ago, he didn't give up any runs. We see good starts against the Mariners and the Angels in early May and late April as well. And this guy is just good enough to get past the poor hitting teams. But whenever he goes up against high-quality teams, he usually gets smashed. The Athletics would definitely fall into the category of a poor hitting team. So I'm going to back the Twins in this game, -0.5 on the first 5 as the play there. For the player props on the screen, I'm playing both of these guys over 1.5 bases. I do think the pitchers will struggle at different times in this game, but with the way J.P. Sears has been pitching lately, the Twins should have no problem leading this game in the first 5 innings. And I'm hoping part of that lead comes from Carlos Correa in this game, over 1.5 bases as the play. Carlos Correa, the first time around against the Athletics on June 16th, he collected a total of 5 hits, 4 RBIs, 2 home runs, and a doubleheader against them. He was able to go deep on J.P. Sears 2 times in the game the first time around. I don't think anything's going to change in this game. He's coming in, hitting .308 on the season. He has been red hot at the plate lately. Over the last 8 games alone, he's collected 17 total hits, and his batting average has gone from .270 to .308 in the last 9 games. I think he's going to stay hot in this game going up against J.P. Sears, who's already been crushed this season by Carlos Correa. And for the other play, I'm going to take J.J. Bleday, over 1.5 bases going up against the Twins. And he was also able to collect 6 total hits in that doubleheader going up against the Twins the first time around. He got the best of Bailey Ober a couple times in the game, knocking a few bases against him. This will be a left against the right matchup as well for JJ, and he loves to hit right-handed pitching, having a batting average of .268 on that side compared to .204 against lefties. He also has 26 extra base hits compared to 9 on the left side. So he does get most of his extra base hits going up against right-handed pitching this year. I love both these guys, so I'm going to play them both over 1.5 bases as the two plays there. Let's get into the second play of the day. This is going to be the best play of the day between the Baltimore Orioles and the Houston Astros. We have a couple studs on the mound for both of these teams. I'm going to take the under total runs scored in this game as the play, under 8. We're going to start with Corbin Burnes, who has been able to shut down opposing teams over the last several starts. This is a guy currently up for Cy Young, coming in with a 2.14 ERA, a 1.04 whip, having 8 wins, 2 losses on the season, and 15 starts. He has been able to go 6+ innings in 10 consecutive games, and he's only given up a total of 22 earned runs over 92+ innings pitched. He's done very good this season over the last several games. He's been able to shut down the opposing team, and over just the last 4 games alone, he's only given up a total of 3 runs. If we take a look at all of his stats over the last 12 games, he's allowed 1 run or less in over 60% of those games also. And there's no reason not to think he's going to come into this game allowed 2 runs or less going up against the Astros. He's coming off his worst performance over the last several games against the Philadelphia Phillies. He still went 6 innings in the game. He only gave up 2 runs, but he did allow 7 hits, showing that he can get himself out of some jams. If that's your worst performance over the last several games, you're doing things right in the MLB. And I like him to shut down the Astros in this game and contribute to the under. On the other side, it's going to be maybe the best pitcher ever to attempt no-hitters. Ronel Blanco, in his first start of the season, recorded a no-hitter. In his second start of the season, he was on his way to a no-hitter as well. And in his last game against the Detroit Tigers, he had a no-hitter through 7 innings, and then the bullpen let him down, giving up a hit in the 8th inning. I always hate it whenever managers take out their guy whenever they have a no-hitter, especially whenever the game's wrapped up. That's the situation we had against the Tigers in his last start, but I guess they didn't want to ruin his arm for the rest of the season. I get that. He was dominant, though, in that game. He had 8 strikeouts going 7 innings. It brought his ERA down to 2.43. He's also coming in with a sub-1 whip. So I do think both of these guys on the mound are going to be able to give us 6+ innings of pretty good baseball. I know both of these teams, they can put up a lot of runs, but with the pitching we have, I think they're going to win the battle in this one. I'm going to take the under 8 runs as the play there as the best play of the day. For the player props on the screen, I'm not going to play either of them, but I do want to point out some stats for both of them. We're going to start with Cedric Mullins because he's not getting talked about on this Baltimore Orioles team because he's had a very slow start to the year. Over the last 8 games, though, he's collected at least 1 hit in 7 of those 8, including 3 multi-hit games. This was a big-name player in 2021-2022 for the Orioles, but they've now got all that young talent, all that new talent. I just want to make sure that Cedric Mullins is out there knowing that somebody has noticed him picking up the slack lately. He's hitting extremely well coming into this game, so I would look at him for a player prop if you guys were looking at player props for this game. On the other side, we've got Jose Altuve. He's also hitting extremely well coming into this game, having 3 multi-hit games over the last 5. If Corbin Burnes were to make a mistake, it would probably be early in the game. And Jose Altuve has 19 of his 25 extra base hits against righties this season. Altuve is a guy who can send the first pitch into the stand. So again, if you're looking for player props in this game for the Astros, I'd start with Jose Altuve. But for me, I'm just going to be a hard pass because I want the under to hit. So I'm going to take the under in the game, pass on the player props, and we are going to get into the best player props of the day. And we're going to start with a guy I never thought I'd be talking about, Jesse Winker of the Washington Nationals, over 1.5 bases going up against the Rockies. I like this play for several reasons, and the first reason is because we're going to be in the Rockies. So the ball, it will be flying higher. It will be flying further in this game. We're also getting a matchup going up against Cal Quantrill for the Colorado Rockies, who has been giving up a lot of hits this season, 76 and over 84 innings pitched. In his last game against the Dodgers, he gave up 7 hits, 3 runs, and just 5 innings of work, and he's now given up 7+ hits in 2 of the last 4 games. And surprisingly enough, a guy who I badmouth a lot in Jesse Winker because I think he just came to the Nationals because nobody else wanted him. He has not been productive for this team since he got here, but he has been playing some pretty good baseball over the last couple months, and I'm going to give him his flowers here. The one thing that Jesse Winker does extremely well this season, unlike most of his career, he has the ability to get into friendly hitter counts. He has 36 walks on the season. So he has been much better at his plate discipline this season. That discipline leads to a better chance to hit the ball, and we have seen that especially over the last couple months for the Washington Nationals. He's now hitting .270 on the season. He's collected at least 1 hit in 5 consecutive games, including 2 multi-hit games. He's also had a home run in back-to-back games against the Diamondbacks on the 19th and the 20th. It is nice to see the power back in that bat. I think most of it is just because he's been patient at the plate getting his pitch. Whenever you start to hit the ball well, I'd say 25% of it's skill, 75% is confidence at the plate, especially if you've been in the league for a long time. And I just think he needed some confidence. He's got a lot of confidence right now. He's got all the confidence in the world over the last couple months of baseball. I'm taking him here, over 1.5 bases as the batting prop today. For the pitching prop, it is going to be Ben Lively of the Cleveland Guardians to go under 2.5 runs allowed going up against the Toronto Blue Jays. This is going to be a full fade of the Blue Jays. They're coming in with a .233 team batting average. That is bottom 10 in baseball. They have been a little bit better over the last 14 days or so hitting the ball, but I still think this team's not going to be able to put up any sort of runs on Ben Lively. They are even worse in run score per game, 27th this season with 3.88 runs scored per game. I can't trust this team at all. So I'm going to take the opposing pitcher whenever I see the Blue Jays in a matchup that I like. I think this is the best matchup possible because Ben Lively, he's already seen the Blue Jays in the last start. It was his worst performance of the season. He gave up 6 hits, 4 runs in just 4 innings. And now I know you're probably calling me crazy for taking him, and I think it's a good matchup. But even though he did give up 4 runs against the Blue Jays in his last game, I think that helps him out in this game going up against them just a week later. I think he's going to have one of his better starts of the season against the Blue Jays the second time around because he's already seen everybody he's going to go up against in this game. Most people think that that's the advantage for the batters. I think it's an advantage for the pitchers. The numbers for him this season, they've been really good. Before that Blue Jays game, also, he had gone 4 consecutive games giving up 2 runs or less, and he gave up 1 run or less in half of those games as well. I think he's going to learn from his mistakes the first time around against the Blue Jays, and he should shut them down the second time around. I'm taking the pitching prop here, under 2.5 runs allowed as the play. Little bounce back performance against the same team as the play there. All right, let's get into the MLB graphic for Saturday's slate. We are going to start with the graphic plays over here. Twins on the first 5, -0.5. Bailey Ober going up against J.P. Sears. J.P. Sears was really bad against the Twins the last time. I got to take the Twins this time around. Carlos Correa, he's hot at the plate, over 1.5 bases, batting average above 300 now going up against the Athletics. And then J.J. Bleday, he's hitting over 260 against the left side. He loves that side for some reason. I'm going to take him over 1.5 bases in the game. The best play of the day, the under 8.5 runs scored between the Orioles and the Astros. We got Ronel Blanco going up against Corbin Burns. I think both those guys will give us 5 or 6 innings. Then the bullpens can shut down the rest. Then we've got Ben Lively, under 2.5 runs, going up against the Blue Jays once again. And again, last start, 4 runs to the Blue Jays. This start, I think he's going to shut them out. Then Jesse Winker, a guy who I thought I would never talk about on this channel, over 1.5 bases. He's been good lately. Hopefully he keeps it up whenever I take him for the first time ever on the channel. Guys, that's going to do it for the MLB Picks and Props for Saturday, June 22nd slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.